Hi everyone, welcome to the next video in our Hanna Karlzon Seasons Summer Item series. We have this item here, I'm just coming in a little closer. I think it's a flower, but it's got a pretty heart in the middle. Not entirely sure if it is a flower, but so that's how we're going to colour it. I'm going to start, actually I'm thinking I'm going to do the petals in an orange and the centre in a red. I think it might look quite nice like that. I'm going to start with a dark red for the heart. These are Polychromos, by the way. I'm just going to give it a sharpen and show you what I'm up to. So I'm going to do the heart. I'm going to do it really dark, intense around the edge, lots and lots of layers, and then less towards the centre. Scumble it a little bit, just a bit less. So hopefully it gives it a little shine and shape. And I'm going to do the same with these circles. I'm going to do them more intensely around here and then a little less towards the centre. I want these to actually look like they're almost jewelled, and I will put some white pen on them once we've finished the rest to hopefully make them look more shiny. So I hope you're all good this morning. It's sort of getting into June now, probably getting used to the fact that it's June. I always find it takes me a few days to sort of realise it's the new month. Although I used to work in a building society and used to have to know the date. You were paying checks in and things like that. Just trying to get rid of that tiny white dot. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you'd have to know the date. Although sometimes we would set our till, we would backdate our computers if we were late with processing something. Because we were supposed to process it the day it arrived. So we might be transferring some money or something to an account with higher interest. And if we got behind in our work, you know, if we were extra busy, then we would backdate our system so that then their interest would start, you know, it would look as if we'd done it on the right day, and their interest payments would be correct from the day that they wanted it to happen. Obviously, if they sent it in too late, then we would process it on the day we got it, but very often they would send them in, you know, a bond would mature and they would want the money out of there straight away because there'd be no interest into an account that had interest. And on the days the bonds matured, I'm just thinking about the next colour, it would be mega busy. But I liked busy days. My adrenaline was always high when I got to work, not in a bad way, in a way, right, we're going to have loads of work today. I'm going to just power through my work really fast. I really liked it. Can't really do that with colouring. This is deep red. If you power through it, it doesn't look particularly nice. I'm going to keep this quite light. So I'm actually going to just colour it with a lightish even layer. But yes, I can power through work when I'm editing or doing website updates or things like that. I'm going to try and make these a little darker. And I always want this to look like it's a little bit higher up. Not massively, but just a little bit. There we go. And these as well. Just layer it up a little bit. Could even put a bit of black if you want that to look like it's a lot lower than these, but I think it's okay as it is. I'm not too fussed. I think once we've drawn on some white shine, it'll look pretty good, I reckon. Okay, next our petals. I'm going to use a mixture of oranges. Working through, maybe even ending on yellow, it just depends. This is actually light cadmium red. I think it looks very orangey, so I'm going to start with this one. Now I'm going to use it here quite lightly on the top, on the this, there, just a little bit, because I want these ones underneath to be a little bit darker. You'll see what I mean when we get round to it, but I'm just going all the way around the tops of these just with a little layer. and of course we'll use more colours to extend that down. I haven't seen a flower like this either in the books. There's always lots of gemstones, things like that, but then I'm not massively familiar with Hanna Karlzon's work in that I'm fairly new to her books really. I've had them for quite a while, but I don't do them religiously in the same way that I do Johanna, for example. And I think it's because my plans for this year were to finish certain books, and 2 of them were Johanna Basford books, so I was spending a lot of time on those. One of which I've now finished, which is Miniature Enchanted Forest. Now in here I want this to be darker, so I'm going to put down more layers like that. Because it's underneath, it would be more shadowed, so I think it would be darker. You could use a black or brown or something to create a shadow. I might do that, but at the moment I'm just going to try and do it with my darker orange, and I will just see how it looks, and if I think it needs a little bit more help, then we'll add another colour at the end. So yes, and Rooms of Wonder, I think I've got 14 pages left. I did say in my completed pages in May that I was going to finish it in June. I think I was being a bit ambitious because I'm doing a double page at the moment. It's going to take me the rest of today, and I've got lots of other pictures that I want to do as well, and I think some buddy colours to do to catch up on. So yeah, it's I may not get it done, but and I don't want to pressure myself and rush it and spoil it, you know. Some of the final pictures that I've got left, these I want dark as well, so I'm going to try and layer them up even more if I can. Yeah, I've got some nice pictures left and some that I want to make you videos from, and I may not have enough time to make all the videos because I want to vary up a little bit. Obviously this varies it a bit with the Hanna, but it just depends what I'm doing, so we'll see. But it will definitely be done by the time her new book comes out, that's for sure. There we go, there's our initial step. Now my next orange is going to be the dark cadmium orange, so we're still on a fairly dark one, but there aren't loads of oranges, so I don't want to sort of miss a stage. I'm going over this quite lightly because I don't want to make it as dark as these, and just extending the colour down towards the tip like that. I'm going to do the same here. I'm not going to put too much over the top of that higher bit because it will fade it a little bit, only subtly because I'm not pressing very hard, but still let's keep that dark because that's the look I was going for. It's looking nice in my, you know, how I wanted it. I don't often do orange flowers unless I'm doing a sort of olive green leaves and things, so it's quite unusual for me, but I feel like we've done some blue and we've done some green and we've done some purple and pink, so we needed some orange and red. I need to do some yellow on this page, I guess, somewhere as well. But it's quite, these pages I don't worry about doing similar colours, they tend to be a bit of a mishmash, but I feel like they're almost practice pages for the main book somehow, you know, or a sort of intro page for the summer. Here's the summer section, practice a few summer things and then off you go type thing. I don't know whether that's what Hanna intended. But talking of Johanna, as I was before, I'm looking forward to her new book, but Hannah's got a new book too. In September there are 3 big books coming out actually. As far as I'm aware, Johanna's new book, Small Victories, is coming out, which is a small size book with smaller designs, which I'm really looking forward to. But I think I know what I'm expecting from it, so we'll see. Maria, no, I'm getting that confused. Hanna Karlzon has her orange glaze. Or no, I'm going to go to cadmium orange. I think it's going to be closer than the orange glaze. Yes, Hanna Karlzon has Tales from Atlantis coming out in September, but it's just the I want to say Swedish, I think I'm right, edition is coming out in September. My husband says he's gonna buy it for me. Oh, is it Dutch? Oh, I don't know. Off their Amazon. So I'm sort of tempted to get it, the foreign copy, rather than wait till the UK copy. We don't have a date for the UK copy yet. Well, I say UK, I mean English, because I think the American and the UK copy are the same. Well, I don't know if they're printed or published by the same people, but the language, you know, the way it looks is the same, I think, as far as I'm aware. And Rita Berman has got a book coming out as well, Africa. You know her, like she's got Europa and Asian, and this one will be Africa. So there's never a UK edition of her books, but they do get them onto UK Amazon. So I haven't, I think that one's available for pre-order already, as is Johanna's, but I haven't pre-ordered any yet. No, I don't tend to. With Rita's last book, she sent me a copy, which was so kind of her, and I sort of thought I'm not going to get it because I haven't finished Europa and I haven't finished Lander or Vassar or any of her seasons books, and I was still at that point I hadn't finished a compilation book, which I have now. But so I was like, I'm not going to get it because I've got so many of her books, I'll just wait. But she sent me a copy, which was so kind of her, and it's a lovely book. But I haven't done much in it because I've been finishing the compilation book. But I'm planning on doing a lot more Rita, across different Rita books this month. We'll see if I get round to it. Best laid plans and all that. So she's got her, and then there's postcards to go with her Africa book as well, but they usually come out about a month later. So that was that. So there's a lot going on. Okay, now we could leave it there. I'm actually going to add, I want a little bit of shadow. I'm actually going to use my sepia. Now the sepia is a slightly browny colour, very dark sepia, sorry. But it's really dark, as you can see, and I think it works well with the orange to create shadows. I'm going to sharpen it a bit more. And I'm going to put a little bit around here. I'm going just around the edge of that circle in the gaps between those circular bits, and then do a little V in between these two. Just looking at the time because I'm hungry. It's not time yet to eat. Always thinking about my belly. Or my belly is always distracting me, one or the other. I think I'm not going to put one in between now, but I'm going to put a bit of shadow around here. All the way around the edge of the central bit, actually. What you're aiming for is to sort of go over Johanna's black line and then just slightly out from it. And hopefully it looks like a shadow and helps to create a little bit of depth. It's quite a tricky technique. It needs to be reasonably even, and that's not easy for me at all, but I try my best. And we'll get all the way back to where we started. Now with the petals, I think I can't work out if this is a sea anemone or just a flower. So you see I'm just going along the edges where they're overlapping, and hopefully once I've finished it will look a little more three-dimensional. It's all about just tricking the eye into thinking, because there's a shadow line there, it's sort of sitting above the bit below. And sometimes it's more effective than other times. It can depend on the way the picture's drawn as well as the way you colour it. I'm sticking my tongue out when I wasn't talking then. Lucky you can't see me. I'm sure you'd find it amusing. Me, not so much. Just imagine that photo going viral. Oh dear. Yeah, I think that adds just a little bit more depth. It's not too much. You could put a much thicker, darker line if you wanted more, but I'm quite happy with it looking like that. Now we do have some black dots here on some of these. Now I think that's supposed to indicate shadow, although we don't have them on these, maybe because they're too small. But I'm just tidying up that. You could go over those, use some white or something to make it look prettier. I'm not going to. I'm going to use the white though, as I said I was. I'm just looking for the right size pen. Yeah, I'm going to use my 08 Jelly Roll. I don't want my teeny tiny one, and I'm going to draw some shine on just on these bits in the centre. Try and just make them look a little bit more jewel-like. I'm actually going to just do it like that, which probably doesn't necessarily make sense with regards to where the light's going to be. But anyway, hopefully it will sort of give the impression that they're a little bit shiny, help them to look a little bit more three-dimensional. And white just always gives a little fun touch, I think. But as I say, you could do some white dots on the leaves and things like that, but I'm not. I'm going to leave it. I think white on orange isn't always the nicest combination. Yellow can look better, but it doesn't really show up. So anyway, I'm going to stop there, or else I could end up spoiling things. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great day and happy colouring.